As you celebrate Independence Day, 13 counties in one state are looking to celebrate their own Independence Day. A big chunk of Southern California looking to secede from the state and create the 51st state in America. Why? Well, joining me now, the man behind the plan, Riverside County Supervisor Jeff Stone. Jeff, how much popular support have you been able to garner within your 13 counties toward this movement?
Well, Chris, we've just started the process. I would predict that we're probably going to see a new NFL football team in Southern California before we see a new flag flying over a new state capital. But putting the rhetoric aside, there's some very important points I want to make. Is that the California government has been dysfunctional now for over a decade. It's bloated. We have the highest taxes on citizens and business of any other state in the union. We rank 49th in educational scores. We have 30 million illegal immigrants in this country. A lion's share of them live in California, where 30% of the nation's welfare exists in California with just 12% of the population. We have the most left-wing environmentalist regulations in this state that make it very easy for Governor Rick Perry to attract businesses to the Lone Star State.
I guess my question would be, well, I guess my point would be, but these are policies that are put in by elected officials, so that garnered most of the support within the state of California. Are you telling me within your 13 counties, those people would not have been elected?
Well, let's just say this, that we have a union preponderance of power in Sacramento, where Sacramento doesn't represent the interest of its citizens, unfortunately. It represents the interest of special interests, especially the unions. And we just had a budget pass, I'll call it a quasi-budget in the state of California, that balances its budget on the backs of local government and higher taxation on our citizens and local government officials throughout the state. All 460 plus cities, all 58 counties are very upset that the state does not live within its means. And so we have an agenda item on our Board of Supervisors agenda to explore the possibility of forming a second state. Is this what we really want to do? No, I'm a native Californian. I've been here for 3 generations. We have seen aerospace leave the state of California. Tech is leaving the state as we speak. Toyota is leaving Fremont, California. Thousands of jobs are leaving the state, and we're just creating a welfare state. It's almost like Governor Brown is driving a bus with 38 million residents, and we're getting very close to the cliff. And in reality, either we get in there and turn that bus around, or we're going to get a new bus and start off from scratch, put an end to all the government unions that cost the state an unfunded liability of hundreds of billions of dollars.
The reality is you'll never be able to do it,
put a part-time legislature in place. I beg your pardon?
The reality is you won't be able to do it. It's more. This is really more to draw attention to your plight, because you have to get because the Constitution says you've got to get the state legislator to agree to it, and they'll never agree to it.
You're absolutely right. Well, listen, there were years ago when everybody said we could never recall a governor of the state of California, and we did. All I can tell you is this. Ever since I put out this agenda item, I've had thousands of emails coming to me, not only from people in Southern California, but even people in Northern California that say, Jeff, where can we sign up? It's about time that somebody stood up. Nobody's offered any solutions how we're going to fix our dysfunctional state. You know, they say that our economy is cyclical. Well, I don't believe our economy is a cycle in California. This is a permanent adjustment. These jobs have left the state. They're not coming back unless we get a change of leadership or we get a change of government by forming a new state and having a part-time legislature. We have the highest paid legislators in the world. We have the highest paid prison guards in the world, 71,000 in California versus 31,000 in Texas.
Well, Jeff,
and we wonder why Texas is doing so well.
You've got a lot of issues. We all know that. And I know a lot of people even outside of the state of California will be keeping a close eye on that situation there. Jeff Stone, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. We're following that story.
Chris.
Supervisor Antonovich, nice to see you, sir.
Oh, nice to see you.
All right. Now, I understand that you have come up with some figures as to the cost, and correct me if I'm wrong, of illegal immigration to L.A. County. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Tell me, what is the cost, let's say fiscal year 2010, for illegal immigration for L.A. County?
Well, right now, the Department of Public Social Services, in their November findings, indicated that it was approximately $53 million for that month to pay for the welfare and the food stamps for children of illegal parents. These are children born in the United States to illegal aliens. And then when you figure the cost over a 12-month period, that exceeds $600 million. ICE did an audit of our county jails last August and found that illegal aliens are costing the county approximately $550 million a year. And when you add that to about $500 million to the health care costs for illegal immigrants, we are exceeding $1.6 billion just for health services and welfare programs and criminal justice enforcement. This does not include educational costs. And what we have is a catastrophic impact that's impacting our community, our state, and our nation as well. California has over a $25 billion deficit. The United States has nearly a $14 trillion deficit. And yet we have turned a blind eye to the cost and the impact to the taxpayers. We cannot be the HMO to the world. We cannot be the breadbasket to the world. We have to ensure that we have laws that are enforced, and we need to have a legal immigration system that allows people to come here legally, but we ought not to be providing incentives for people to break the law, to come here, and then receive welfare checks, and that's wrong.
All right, two quick questions. One is, have you, in considering the cost, have you considered also any sort of offsets, any sort of income, any sort of taxes or anything that the illegal immigrants might be paying, so as to somewhat of an offset? That's the first question. And the second question, I take it or suspect that many of the children who are reaping the benefits, whether it's education or of food stamps, that those are actually American citizens having been born here. So both those questions.
These are children who are born to parents who are illegal aliens, and these are the benefits that these children receive for the 18 years that they are here. But you and I both know that those dollars are going to the parents, not to the children, to be spent the way they want to. We don't know the exact impact that these people produce for the local economy, but we do know the impact it does produce to the local school budget and to the local city and county budgets when it comes to crime, law enforcement, and when it comes to providing welfare and health benefits. What we want to have is a legal immigration system. There ought to be a bonded work permit process where you could come in and be bonded for any type of health and welfare costs and not having the taxpayer pay it, but the employer or the employee. And we ought to enforce that type of law instead of turning a blind eye and allowing people to continually come here, breaking the law, and then receiving the benefits.
One quick question. What's been the reaction of the announcement that you've made in terms of these numbers? What's been the community reaction?
Well, we had very positive support from the community and the taxpayers, because right now their backs are against the wall. We're having to reduce employees' salaries. We're having to impose work furloughs. At the state level, they're talking about doing these types of reductions because the costs are so great. We can't have a $14 trillion federal deficit without having an impact on our ability to create jobs and be productive in a global economy. Our state of California can't afford a $25 billion deficit and be competitive with our other states, and our cities and counties and schools can't afford these multi-billion-dollar hits on illegal immigration, where we have no authority to try and change those laws because the courts, and we have lawsuits from the federal government saying that only the federal government can take these responsibilities. So I'd like to see the federal government have a bonded work permit program. I would like to see them enforce the law, have verification in the workplace with your Social Security number, just as you have verification with your Visa or American Express card when you go to a foreign country and make a purchase. There are ways of doing this, and then use our jawboning to Mexico to break up their monopolies so we have a little competitive spirit with their oil cartels and others. Break up those cartels and privatize them so that people will have economic opportunities in their home country.
Supervisor, thank you very much, sir. And, of course, we're going to be watching because this whole issue of illegal immigration and costs and legal immigration certainly has captivated us all during these times. Thank you, sir.
Okay, there's one area that they can do and provide some teaching hospitals on the Mexican side of the borders with Mexican and American teaching professors in the medical profession so that these individuals will have quality care on their side of the border, no cost to us, and teaching hospitals that provide jobs and opportunities for the Mexican citizens to be involved with.
I think it's a good idea. We have a dialogue, come up with all sorts of solutions, but it certainly is a problem, and I think we should be looking at all possible solutions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.